these are your evening headlines for October 31st, 2025, right here on BYU Idaho Radio. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Jill Clary. A world-class exhibit is now on display, and you don't have to travel too far from Rexburg to find it. The Art Museum of Eastern Idaho recently opened its newest exhibit, Art and the Animal, and it features photorealistic drawings, sculptures, animal artifacts, an interactive audio tour, and more. Amy Thompson is the development director of the museum. In an interview with BYU Idaho Radio, she said the art displayed for this exhibit doesn't come from just any artist.
First, you have to be invited into, and it's really the best of the best. If you're this amazing artist, you might get invited into the society. And then from there, they do this annual exhibit that is juried, meaning just because you made it into the society, you may not necessarily make it into the annual exhibit. So they really take the best of the best of the best. And that's what we've got on display right now.
The exhibit is so good that many people who have seen it think the portraits are pictures taken with cameras instead of drawings, watercolor, and other artistic methods.
I think what is fun for people is you walk in, and from a distance, it looks like we have maybe a few photographs in the mix, but there's actually no photography in the entire exhibit. But some of it is so photorealistic. And it's interesting that the artists have been able to achieve that with colored pencil, watercolor. And so then people get up close and they kind of have this mind-blown experience when they realize that it's actually not a photograph. That's really fun.
The Art Museum of Eastern Idaho plans out its exhibits years in advance. It has had pieces shipped in from as far away as Australia. The museum also strives to make a positive impact by interacting with students in the community.
Because there's not a lot of arts in the schools right now, we actually send teaching artists out to the schools, especially rural schools, and it's often the only art teaching that they get. And often it's combined with a field trip to the art museum.
There is a free community day on Saturday.
So we do these regularly, and we open up the museum for free to the whole community. And we typically have an art project for younger kids, but it's a great chance to come in and catch the exhibit for free.
For any BYU Idaho students, the museum offers a special discounted rate of just $2 for admission. Art and the Animal will be on display until January 3rd. For more information on tickets and hours, visit theartmuseum.org. While most teams are trying to avoid Halloween scares, the BYU Cougars have been the ones haunting their opponents. And now they're enjoying a week off before diving back into Big 12 action next week. Austin Pace has the story.
BYU football will be celebrating Halloween with a little break this weekend. The Cougars are on a bye week this week with their next matchup coming up on November 8th against Texas Tech. This Halloween, the only thing sweeter than candy for the Cougars is that 8-0 record. The Cougars are one of 6 teams in all of college football who remain undefeated. This is only the 6th time in school history that BYU has started 8-0 and the 3rd time under head coach Kalani Sitake. But this is the first time the program has done it in back-to-back seasons. The explosive start has placed the Cougars at the number 10 spot on the Associated Press Top 25 poll, and that puts them in good position to be strong contenders for the Big 12 championship. And to top it all off, the historic season is led by 19-year-old true freshman quarterback Bear Bachmeier.
The composure that he has, the poise, it's something special. Man, he's a learning machine, so he's always trying to find ways to get better.
BYU fans and students rallied together last weekend to welcome home the victorious Cougars after a thrilling comeback win against Iowa State. But Coach Sitake doesn't want the hype to distract his team from the tough schedule they still face.
I want our guys to experience that and have as much fun with it. But it's now time to go to work. Part of staying humble and staying hungry is that we would get hungry and get back on the path to working and make sure that we're getting where we want to be by the time we take the field again.
But for now, Sitake and the rest of his players and staff will take the Halloween celebration to recharge and enjoy time with their kids and enjoy some candy.
There's not a candy I don't like. You don't get this figure from being picky. Give it all to me. I take all the sugar I can.
The Cougars are taking a break from scaring opponents this week, but come November 8th, Texas Tech might be in for a fright. For BYU Idaho Radio, I'm Austin Pace.
Idaho Falls is hosting a circus over the weekend at the Grand Teton Mall. Cirque Italia 3 is putting on its show Water Circus at the Grand Teton Mall and invites people of all ages to attend. The production is set to transport the audience on a journey through the steampunk Victorian era to offer a retro-futuristic experience. According to Local News 8, spectators will be taken through an era defined by airships, steam-powered contraptions, clockwork automatons, and an appreciation of nostalgic older aesthetics and technology. Cirque Italia will show off talented performers such as master jugglers, low-wire artists, contortionists, trampoline performers, and a Wheel of Death. The show will be animal-free to provide an environment for guests of all ages. The shows are tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Tonight, the show will take place at 7:30 p.m. Tomorrow, they'll perform shows at 1:30, 4:30, and 7:30 p.m. On Sunday, shows will run at 1:30 and 4:30 p.m. Tickets cost anywhere between $10 and $50 based on current availability. To find tickets for the circus, search for Cirque Italia on vividseats.com. These have been your BYU Idaho Radio evening headlines for October 31st, 2025. Thanks for tuning in. More news, interviews, and great content are available on our podcast feed. Search for BYU Idaho Radio on your favorite podcast apps. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and more. For BYU Idaho Radio, I'm Jill Clary.